stew pot on a medium heat, and I went in there with a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. If you wanted to use coconut oil, by all means, rock the coconut oil. I have a medium onion that I diced up. I have a stalk of celery with the leaves and everything. Turn my heat down to low because I don't want to burn this. I really want to sweat this out and pull out all those flavors. I have about 8 cloves of garlic that I just smashed. Yeah, a lot of garlic, man. But I'm telling you, that's where, just about every recipe I do with you guys, we talk about that base of flavor. And that is what we're doing here. Creating that base of flavor. I like adding fresh ground black pepper. If you don't have fresh ground, no worries. Use the black pepper that you have, but again, fresh ground is always, a ton of nice flavors in there from that freshness. Just gonna move that around and we're gonna continue sweating that down on that low heat. Let's shift our attention over to the breadfruit now. And this is the breadfruit that I have here. Keep in mind, I am based in Canada, so it's not the greatest, but it is what I have. That is where the stem would be. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a good grab, go down the center, like so, just to cut it in half basically. And that is what the inside of a breadfruit looks like. What we're going to do is cut off the top part here. That's going to go into the rubbish. But what that will do, it will create a flat sort of surface here, which will make it easy for me to cut it into wedges like so. So here we go, we got these wedges, yeah? The other thing you want to do now is take a paring knife, and this sort of core we want to cut out. So we're just going to put a sort of a sawing motion. And you see the core is gone. This can go into the rubbish. We will then peel this back, like so. And I think I have a video on the Food FAQ channel showing you how to prep breadfruit. If you would like a more in-depth video showing you how to prep breadfruit, and then you would just cut it like that into 1-inch pieces and set it aside. You can wash it out after. If you're looking for a video, more in-depth video, as I said, just drop me a comment down below and I'll try to source another breadfruit. There are times of the season when the breadfruit is much easier to source here in Canada, but lately not so much. It's been about 6 minutes now. You got a nice fond on the bottom there. Everything is nice and soft. I'm going to go in with a tablespoon and a half of Caribbean green seasoning. My heat is still on low. And Caribbean green seasoning, if you're new to Caribbean cuisine, it's sort of a puree or a blend of all the herbs we like using in our dishes, along with seasoning peppers and garlic and stuff like that. So in there's going to be scallion, there's going to be thyme, there's going to be parsley, there's going to be shadow benny, there's going to be cilantro, there's going to be seasoning peppers, as I said. That recipe is available at CaribbeanPot.com. Now that we've pulled out all that flavors from there, what I'm going to do is start adding the prepped and washed breadfruit to the pot. Give that another quick little mix. My heat is still on low. Just want to keep mentioning that. And since I'm treating this as a soup to help me that nice thick Caribbean consistency when it comes to soup. Some of you may call this a stew because of the consistency, but in the Caribbean our soups are nice and thick. I've got here a cup and a half of yellow split peas that I washed. Going in there. That's going to give this some body, and yeah, it is going to take a while. If you wanted to use a pressure cooker, you can certainly use a pressure cooker. Don't mess with pressure cookers at all. You will have noticed that by now. So I'm gonna low and slow. This thing is going to come together nicely. But to help it come together, of course, we need salt. So I've got some sea salt that I'm putting in there. You can use whatever salt you like. It's totally up to you. And while I am not the biggest fan of carrot, it's a great opportunity to sneak in some carrots there. A large carrot that's just cut into about 1 centimeter wheels. I've got a couple cups of coconut milk. We are keeping this vegan, vegetarian. I mean to say ITAL, or they can hold back on the salt and then do all the thing. We can consider it ITAL as well too. The other thing I like putting in here to help create that sort of body is some diced, and I'm being generous when I use the word diced because they're pretty big pieces of pumpkin. What we're going to do now is turn up the heat. We want to bring that up to a boil. But before we do, we need some more liquid in here to braise everything. I've got 6 cups of vegetable stock. Give that another little stir. Well, again, we're trying to bring that up to a boil. But for that kick, for that Caribbean sunshine, for that vibe, we've got a scotch bonnet pepper that I cut into half. You can float it in there whole and later on fish it out. This way you don't get that raw heat. I might want that raw heat. So this is why I am doing that. Now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about the breadfruit. However, if you wanted to add green banana in there, if you wanted to add yam, if you wanted to add dashi and edos, chocho, whatever it is you want to add in there, you can add it. But for today, we're doing a vegan, vegetarian sort of breadfruit stew that everybody is just going to be raving about. The other thing I like adding to help give it some more body and some flavor is some sweet potato. Now this is not the sort of purple skinned potato we get in the Caribbean. It is what I can source here in Canada. But I ain't complaining. It's gonna add some nice flavor to this, and it's gonna bring a sweetness to the game. So it's all about balancing the flavors, yeah? That coconut milk is gonna bring a nice sweetness to it, so don't sleep on that. We're trying to bring this up to a boil, then we're gonna reduce it down to a simmer. We're gonna put the lid on with a sort of a breathing mechanism or slightly ajar, and let that simmer down for 1 hour. For some additional flavor and color, I've got half a teaspoon of turmeric, or what we call saffron, and I'm also going to go in with about a teaspoon of curry powder. Give that a nice little stir. It's been about an hour. Yeah, I told you guys it's gonna take a minute, but look how nice and thick and everything is starting to fall apart. And that is why I added that pumpkin at the beginning there. I want that to fall apart and start adding all kind of niceness in here. If you find that it's getting too thick, feel free to add some water, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a couple cups of water to that. But before I do, I like to repeat these sort of flavors I have in there, and my Caribbean green seasoning have a lot of thyme in there, so I'm gonna hit it back with some more thyme. Speaking about flavor, I've got here a seasoning pepper, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to use 2 of them, so that was 1, and I'm just gonna, and we call it pimento pepper. If you can source it, it will add a lovely flavor to things. For more on the body, I've got here some Jamaican Callaloo. You can use any sort of spinach that you can get access to. I put some of the stems in there as well. That's going to cook down nicely. That's going to well down. It's going to add body and all kind of niceness in there. Were I in the Caribbean, I would still be using Jamaican Callaloo, or what we call chorai baji in the Southern Caribbean. However, the choice I would make is young dashing bush leaves. So the taro plant, the leaves from the taro plant, I'd be using that, but there's no reason why we can't use that Jamaican Callaloo with success, straight out of my garden as well. And while not the best quality, I do need some okra in there as well. And you notice all the niceness that we took and we add it to this pot here. I've got one more thing I want to add for now in here, just to help with balance. And you know, everything I cook, I talk to you guys about balance and flavors and stuff like that, and that is exactly why I will add a diced tomato to the mix. And the acidity in there is going to help because there's a lot of richness from that coconut milk in there. So that tomato is going to bring that balance, the acidity from it. It's going to give that a stir here. I did add another 2 cups of water to it in the interim there. And the reason why I like adding the thyme with the sprig and everything is, 1, later on I can fish this out and discard it, and 2, the stems have a lot of flavor in there. We're going to bring this back up to a boil. We're going to reduce it back down to a simmer. What I would recommend doing here too, and I'm going to do it, is add a tablespoon of golden brown sugar. Trust me on that one, the golden brown sugar. But we want to cook this down even further. It's been 45 minutes since we added the Jamaican Callaloo and the thyme and everything else. This is done to my liking. Yeah, it has the consistency of a soup, but once this cools down, it will thicken up quite considerably. So a couple housekeeping tips. At this point, we will grab the sprigs of thyme. We would remove that. We ain't trying to serve that. If you did have the pepper whole and you didn't break it, this is where you would remove it out of the pot. And the final sort of housekeeping tip is to taste for salt and adjust it accordingly. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie. If you wanted to cook this down further, you can certainly do that to get it even more thick. If you wanted to add more ground provisions in there, you can do that. What I forgot to mention earlier there is I stirred it during the entire cooking process, maybe every 10-15 minutes or so. There's that big old scotch bonnet pepper that we had in there from the start. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. Whether you want to call it a soup, whether you want to call it a stew, and if you wanted to add some flour dumplings in here, by all means, you can certainly do that, yeah? Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. We just wanted to make sure the key ingredient, which is that breadfruit, shines through, yeah? I do hope you guys give this one a try. It's real nice, man.